This happened a few years ago, and I still remember it clearly because nothing about it felt dramatic in the moment. It wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It was quiet, controlled, and slow, which somehow made it worse. At the time, I was using Uber almost every day. I lived in a large city, didn't own a car, and ride shares were just part of my routine. I'd taken hundreds of rides without ever thinking twice about it. Long rides, short rides, late nights. None of it felt risky to me anymore. That night, I was exhausted. Not drunk, not distracted, just tired in that heavy way where you feel disconnected from everything around you. It was well past midnight when I requested the ride. The streets outside my building were almost empty, the kind of quiet you only get after bars close. The app matched me with a driver within seconds. I checked the details like I always did. Car model matched. License plate matched. Driver name matched. He pulled up smoothly and unlocked the doors. He was a middle-aged guy, calm, clean-looking, nothing about him stood out. He asked my name, confirmed my destination, and pulled away. I sat back, put my phone down, and let my mind drift. For the first part of the ride, everything was normal. We took the same main roads I'd been on dozens of times before. Same intersections, same closed storefronts, same streetlights flicking past the windows. I wasn't paying attention. I trusted the routine. At one point, we stopped at a red light, and out of habit, I opened the app again. Not because I was worried, just muscle memory. That's when I noticed something small. The route line on the map didn't look right. At first, I assumed it was just lagging. Sometimes the app redraws itself weirdly. I looked up and then back down again. The blue line had shifted. It was no longer following the main road. I looked up just in time to see him signal and turn right. That wasn't the turn. I'd lived in that area long enough to recognize it instantly. This street led away from my apartment, not toward it. I didn't say anything right away. I told myself there could be traffic ahead, or construction, or some shortcut I didn't know about. Drivers do this all the time, but the street felt wrong. The lighting changed almost immediately. Streetlights became sparse. The buildings got shorter and older. The sidewalks narrowed. We passed long stretches with no parked cars, no people, no movement at all. I checked the app again. The estimated arrival time had increased by 9 minutes. I leaned forward slightly and said, "Hey, I think my place is the other way." He didn't look at me. He just said, "Yeah, I know." That was it. No explanation, no apology, just confidence. I waited for him to add something. He didn't. Another turn, then another. Each street got darker than the last. Trees started lining the road, their branches hanging low over the car, blocking out what little light there was. I realized we hadn't passed another vehicle in a while. I checked the app again. We were now moving in the opposite direction of my destination. I said his name again, this time less casual, and asked if there was a reason we were going this way. He smiled in the rearview mirror. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't friendly either. He said, "The app doesn't always know the best route." My stomach tightened. I told him I was in a hurry and asked him to take me back to the main road. He didn't respond. The car kept moving at the same steady speed. I noticed then that he wasn't checking the GPS anymore. The phone mounted on the dashboard wasn't even on the map screen. It was dark. I quietly unlocked my phone and shared my trip with a friend. I didn't message them. I just sent the link and hoped they'd see it. A few minutes passed in silence. Then he turned onto a narrow access road. No houses, no sidewalks, no signs, just pavement stretching forward into darkness. I felt my heart start to race. I leaned forward and said, "Can you pull over right here?" That's when he finally turned his head slightly and looked at me through the mirror and said, very calmly, "We're almost there." I asked where there was. He didn't answer. The car slowed down. The tires crunched slightly as we rolled onto the side of the road. He stopped the car completely, right there, in the middle of nowhere. No buildings, no lights, just trees and silence. Before I could even process what was happening, he turned his body slightly toward me and said, "Relax. This happens all the time. The way he said it, like it was routine, made my skin crawl. I didn't ask what he meant. I reached for the door handle. It opened. That's when I stopped worrying about being polite. I got out. I didn't grab my bag. I didn't look back. I stepped onto the pavement and closed the door behind me. For a moment, I thought he might get out too. He didn't. He just sat there, hands on the wheel, watching me through the windshield. Then he drove away. I stood there alone, my phone vibrating as the ride ended in the app. A notification popped up asking me to rate my driver. I didn't. I walked until I found a main road and flagged down another Uber. When the next driver arrived, I checked everything twice. Plate, name, face. The rest of the ride home was quiet. The next day, I opened the app and looked at my ride history. The route looked normal. No detours, no side roads, just a clean, direct path from pickup to drop-off. And the driver? His profile was gone. No name, no photo, just driver unavailable. The ride had already been refunded. No explanation. I never reported it because I didn't know how to explain it without sounding paranoid. But ever since that night, I watched the map the entire ride. And if a driver takes a turn I don't recognize, I don't wait to see where it leads.